completed your bachelor's and master's of engineering in civil and structural from the University of Leeds, like which was not located far away from your family in Bradford. But after your graduation, you chose to move to London. Like, were there any particular reasons or motivations behind your decision to move to London?
Um, there's a story behind this as well.
Yeah.
So when I moved to UK, I was
Okay.
16, so I did my A levels. At that point, I could not speak English. I was already learning the different lifestyle, different culture, juggling with the A level pressures, then going into further education. So it was 3 years since I've been in the country. So I wasn't willing to just leave my family and then move away
Yes. Yes. Yes.
to a different city at that time. So it was my personal preference, and that's
Yes.
why I applied to universities which were very close, commutable distance to my home. So
Yeah.
the one I
Yeah.
applied to were Bradford, Leeds, and Sheffield. So in my own head at that time, it was the commuting distance which controlled my decision. So I didn't want to stay at home, so I didn't go to
Yes.
Bradford, but I didn't
Yes.
want to be going too far either, so I didn't go
Yeah.
too far to any other city, so I went to Leeds instead. But another thing I did look at was when I chose the universities around my house, I did look at the course they were offering and the modules I was going to choose to go
Okay.
ahead and focus on my career basically. I made sure it's a university which has really good education that will become a base for rest of my
Yes.
career.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's one reason. Um, but when I completed my degree, it
Okay.
was an unfortunate period. So the market was still struggling because of the recession, and it was just coming out of it. So I was graduated in 2011.
Okay.
And once I graduated, I really struggled to find a job. I tried for constantly for 7 months, and I was rejected by over 250 companies. I literally applied everywhere. And when I was about to give up in engineering and then start applying to other professions, um, I got a lucky message on LinkedIn. So during that period, because I was doing job hunting, I was also learning about LinkedIn
Yes.
and developing my personal brand, meeting people, networking. So I
Okay.
was very active. That's why. So when I received a message on LinkedIn from an engineer who was at that time working in WSP in their London office,
Okay.
uh, I took that opportunity, even though it wasn't something that was in my mind because I didn't want to leave home. But I still took
Yes.
that option to start my career at one point. And that decision to move to London was that reason that I struggled to find the job up north, and I moved towards the big city.
Okay.
Um, and I went for that interview, got the job, and started working as a graduate engineer in the London office. Um, After joining the company, I started working on tall buildings, all different residential, commercial sectors, and that's when I developed my passion for wanting to change the skylines of different cities. So that's when I realized, okay, I want to make a difference to the
Okay.
environment around me. And I was absolutely impressed by, I mean, like everyone is, by London
Yeah.
City itself.
Yes. Yes.
So it basically developed my passion into that next level. And that's why I stayed there for a good few years before I moved back.
Okay. Okay.